Hello and welcome to Cartoon Drawing Studio. Today we're going to be drawing a skateboarding giraffe. But before we begin, check out the description box below and visit our Cartoon Drawing Studio website for more information on lessons and free content. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Hit that like button and share with your friends. Let me know you like these videos and want to see more. Okay, so grab your materials and let's get started. Alright. So today we're drawing this skateboarding giraffe. We're going to start as usual with the giraffe's head. And that's going to be a circle or a sphere up here at the top of the page. I'm giving myself enough room because the giraffe is going to have a very long neck. So we have this circle to start with the base of the head. And I'm going to go ahead and map out. I'm going to use this line here to map out where I want his neck to go. So keep in mind at this phase you want to be pressing lightly with your pencil because we're just trying to create these guides. So I'm going to now use this cylinder shape to figure out where his neck is going to go. It's like this extended cylinder or rectangle for the length of his neck. All right, next I'm gonna map out his body, and I'm gonna use a bean shape for that. So that bean shape is gonna be kind of a shape like this. There is the bean shape for his body. This is basically his torso and his hips combined. Okay, perfect. So far we have just drawn three shapes: his head, his neck, and the bean shape. Next, I'm going to start mapping out his arms. So this top shoulder, this here is going to be his shoulder. It's going to come down. There's going to be his kind of his knee down, and here's his foot. This triangle right here. Okay. Now his other arm is going to be facing up, like he's doing he's in the air, hanging 10. So here is his top shoulder, gonna come up. There's his elbow, up. Here is his other hand. It's basically a triangle. So right now we're mapping out everything using very simple shapes. Now before I get his back leg in there, I want to make sure that we're okay on the space with the skateboard. So the skateboard is gonna be a rectangle with these curved edges at the end. See? So it took me a second try right here to get the shape right towards the bottom of the page. But I have this rectangle with these curved edges. Okay, perfect. That's pretty good. And then one set of wheels is going to be here, and the other set of wheels is going to be right there. Okay, so we're seeing the bottom of the skateboard. And you know what? Now that we're here, let's go ahead and draw the wheels in. So I'm going to go ahead and do, it's going to be a cylinder right here, really skinny cylinder. There's one. And here's another skinny cylinder right here. There's another. And the same thing on the other side. So we're going to have a skinny cylinder right here. There's one. And then here's another cylinder right here for the wheels. Okay. And in the middle, the wheels are connected with another cylinder. Perfect. All right. And skateboards also have this other rectangle here, which is where the wheels attach to the actual skateboard. So I'm going to draw a rectangle right here. Perfect. Now moving on to the back legs. So I'm going to go ahead and think this is where his pelvis is. It connects right there. And it comes forward. Here's his knee. And it comes down. And here's his back leg. We're just going to see a little bit of it, right? Because his back leg is really kind of hidden behind the skateboard. And the other side, his hip is somewhere back there. Let's say it's here. it comes out. There's his other knee, and then it goes forward, and there's his other foot. Right, so we're not going to see it because it's also going to be partially hidden behind the skateboard. And now that we're back here, let's just go ahead and map out where his tail is going to be. So his tail is going to do something like this. Bend up, and it's going to have this teardrop, kind of heart teardrop shape in the back. Okay, perfect. So we've mapped out our first pass of our giraffe. And now we're going to go back and we're going to start adding some more details to it. So starting with his face, I'm going to go ahead and divide the face, the circle like this, so I know where his eyes are going to go and where the center line is. And then I'm going to draw another circle here in the front, an oval. This is essentially the front of his nose. So now that it does that, I'm going to go ahead and connect it here and there, these two connections there, because this shape is really connecting to the oval. The oval is connecting with the sphere. You see how I did that? So we have the oval, the sphere, and they're connected there, but those shapes are overlapping. So now his eyes, it's going to be an oval here, and another oval here on the side, because he's looking to the side. This is called a 3/4 view. And then I'm going to draw his pupils inside looking down, because he's flying in the air. Okay? Now let's also get his eyebrows in there. I'm going to draw a bigger oval, and that maps out this top eyebrow. Another bigger oval, that maps out that eyebrow. And now he is a skateboarding giraffe, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a helmet. So I'm going to cut it right here and do this half oval, like a gumdrop shape, going over his head, right? Maybe this is hidden, part of the helmet is hidden behind his eyebrows, or you can just cover the eyebrows there. So we have that. And now I'm going to go ahead and add an ear. The ear attaches right there. So I'm going to pull it out with a straight line and then a curved line underneath. There's his ear. And then starting in this base, it comes out like that. If you can see that straight line, curve, and then it comes down and connects right there. Now giraffes have horns on top of their head, but he's wearing a helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a little hole right here on his helmet, and coming out of that hole is going to be one of his horns. And then the other hole is on the back side of the helmet, so you're not going to be able to see the hole, but I know it's back there, so I'm just going to draw the other horn sticking out like that. Okay, a few more details on the face. We're going to draw a nostril right here. There's one nostril. And the other nostril, we're just seeing a little bit of it there. And I want him smiling. So I'm going to pull out a smile from down here, and he's going to be smiling here and then pushing that cheek up like that. All right. Here is the bottom of his jaw, And now from his helmet, I'm going to pull down a strap that's going around his jaw, because he's wearing a helmet, and we need the strap underneath his chin. Okay, moving on down. We're gonna leave the spots of the giraffe to the end, but I want to get his t-shirt in here now. So here, the base of the neck that we already drew is kind of like his t-shirt, the neckline. So we're gonna come down here, and we're gonna draw one sleeve going up like this. It's a cylinder. It opens up by the back there, but here is one cylinder, that's one sleeve. This sleeve goes up and back, so there's another cylinder going up. And now we're going to do this, and we're going to wrap around his body like this, okay? So his t-shirt is wrapping around his body, and then it goes back up like that. And if you want, you can add a little circle here and maybe like any kind of symbol you want. I'm going to go ahead and do a lightning bolt right here as his t-shirt because he's a skateboarding giraffe and he's wearing a t-shirt. Okay, so we got that detail in there. Now moving up with his arms to flesh these out. I'm going to draw one rectangle or cylinder going up with a bump here. This is basically his elbow. Then straight up, we're going still straight up, and we already gave ourselves a triangle here as a guide. So I'm going to split this triangle in half to kind of make it look a little bit like a hand. Here's kind of, this is his thumb, then going straight up, that is his hand. This is essentially his hoof, but I wanted it to kind of look like a human hand a little bit. No fingers, just his fingers here, the large part, and then his thumb right there. And then moving down, rectangle, bump, rectangle, and then just all we're gonna see is his hoof like that because part of it is hidden behind the skateboard. Okay, good. Now we're gonna flesh out his back hips. So we know his hip is there. We gave ourselves a guide. I'm gonna start off like this, pulling out this rectangle here. There's one part, there's a bump for his knee, and that wraps around his pelvis. There's his bottom leg. Then it goes down, down, and there's his hoof right there for his foot. Okay, moving along. We have the back, that back part already fleshed out, and we gotta get his other leg in here. We know it's partially hidden behind his body. His knee is somewhere there. So he's got his knee, it comes down here, and we know that it's kind of hidden behind this leg because he's hanging 10 in the air like that. Perfect. All right, a couple of more details. Back to his tail. We're gonna start thicker at the base of the tail and then get skinnier as it connects to the hair like that. And then we're just gonna have our fluffy, giraffe hair of a tail. Great. All right. Now giraffes also have hair along the ridge of their back. So I'm gonna give myself a guide for that. And it's basically just a ridge of hair along the back, and we're gonna do some uneven points like this throughout, maybe some sticking out like that, because that's the hair that goes along his back. All right, we got all the major details. I think I wanna give him two more minor details, which is I wanna have him with a pair of earphones, like he's listening to music. So I'm gonna do a circle in here, a line going down. There's another ear back there, so the line is coming down here. And now it connects here in the middle. And then we're gonna have this headphone connecting to kind of a music on his armband right there. You give him an armband with music coming down. And I also wanna give him a backpack. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a strap going around his shoulder like this. Here's another strap. I gave myself a guide. There's one strap. It's connecting to the back here. The other strap, we're only gonna see part of it here. So I've got a strap going on like that. We're only seeing that top part of it. And then back here, we've got basically a backpack for him. He's got his backpack, and there's a top string of the backpack. And that's pretty good. So the only real major detail we're missing are the spots. And the spots in a giraffe, we don't want to have a super repetitive pattern. We want to think about having them spread out and having them be variety in size. So when you come up with the spots, try to have them vary from top to bottom, and they also kind of get a little bit bigger as they come down the neck and smaller as they get up towards his face. Same thing on the back here. Some spots that are kind of bigger towards the top of his back, and they get smaller as they go down his leg. We don't have to cover him in spots. They can start disappearing as they go down his leg a little bit. Maybe some spots around here. That's pretty good. And some spots on the giraffe's tail. There we go. Now this was a tough drawing to get all the details in there, but if you followed the steps, you should have a giraffe, a skateboarding giraffe. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. It can be different in many ways and it still will totally work. So now at this point, after we finish sketching out with our pencil, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our ink pen, and it can be a Sharpie or an artist ink pen or a ballpoint pen, and we're gonna go ahead and make our final decisions on the line work. And I'm gonna speed this part up of the video for you guys. Okay, so I finished inking our skateboarding giraffe. The only thing we have left to do now is to erase our pencil marks. This is why when working in this method where you first sketch it out in pencil, it's so beneficial because you don't have to be worried about making mistakes at the beginning when you're finding the look of your character and the shapes. You're pretty much free to draw with the pencil and sketch out your character and make changes because a pencil is very forgiving. You can make unlimited changes when you press lightly. And now that we've inked our character at the end, at that phase, we're just deciding what are the final lines that we want to keep for our final drawing. So now we just go through and erase all the pencil marks. And we're left with our final skateboarding giraffe. The only thing we have to do now is add a little bit of color, and there you have it. Let me know if there's any other original characters you'd like to see me draw in the future in the comments section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get the latest videos. I really appreciate your support. Okay guys, that's it. Keep on drawing and thanks for watching.